My name is Angie Kivido, and I'm a believer in the impossible. And the reason why I say so is that, just to put it in context, I live in the northern suburbs of Port Elizabeth. And we, over the years, have made headlines in terms of gangsterism, unemployment, youth, young ladies falling pregnant, having children, and the social needs in our area is extremely high. Here I am living in this suburb, and somehow I was raised by a very strong woman who allowed me to dream big. And because of that, I have a different vision for myself. I'm very goal orientated. I like to learn new things, and I like to expose myself to other environments outside of where I live. And one of the things that really stands out for me in my life is that when I first flew for the first time, I actually fulfilled a lifelong dream of climbing Kilimanjaro. And I did that at a time when it was impossible. And I resonate with Nelson Mandela's quotation where he says that it always seems impossible until it's done. And when that happened to me, the world opened up to me. I looked for opportunities, and I actually grasped it, and I embraced it because I believe that it's all within you, and you have to believe in yourself. And opportunity comes in various shapes, various sizes, and it may not always come in a pretty gift box wrapped with a ribbon, but it's there, and it's up to you to go and get it. Leadership for me is about understanding who you are, where you are, and where you see yourself in the future. Because without you understanding yourself, how can you show people the way to go? So it's important for me, it's always been important that I understand who I am, I understand where I am, and I understand where I want to be. Because people tend to follow people that have a specific purpose in life. And I believe that I've actually got a purpose-driven life. I don't just want to exist. I want to show the way, go the way, and get people to be inspired to find their own why. Why are they here on earth? And that passion has driven me to do many, many things. And I've always looked out for opportunities to speak to people about what my successes are, but also to look at them and say, but you are also unique. You are also special. You also have a purpose. Just where you are, you just need to discover who you are, where you are, and where you want to go. I've been absolutely fortunate and blessed. The first time I got into formal employment, I was working with a phenomenal lady. And I'm going to mention her name, Lynn Gagan. She's currently living in Ireland. She groomed me and molded me. And I think if I didn't have that mentor right at the beginning of my work career, I would not have excelled in my workplace. But I worked with phenomenal men who actually allowed me to be innovative, creative, allowed me to excel in terms of my strength. And they've also allowed me to make mistakes. And by making the mistakes, I've learned amazing values in terms of we are all not perfect. We are all on a learning journey, and lifelong learning is my ambition and my desire. I don't want to get to a place where think I know everything. I am consistently working on improving myself. And for me, both the ladies and the gentlemen that have mentored me, coached me, guided me, challenged me, inspired me, they have fundamentally transformed me into the leader that I am today. I'm fortunate to have been involved in leadership at my church. I've been a Sunday school teacher for many years. I've always felt inspired by the children that I have been involved with, and many years later, some of those children have become so well-rounded, mature adults that I feel absolutely proud of the work that I did in their lives. And their parents come back to me and always inquire about how I am and share the successes of their children with me. I also am involved in Toastmasters. I've been in Toastmasters now since 2010. And Toastmasters has provided me with an opportunity to perform specific executive committee roles, like being a president of the club, I have been pushed and I have been stretched to do things that I would normally have never done. But I've got people that are supporting me. I've got people that are guiding me. And in Toastmasters, what I found very valuable is the fact that you're never alone. There's always a collection of people around you that supports you, guides you, and sometimes corrects you if you are heading in the wrong direction. So what I found most valuable is that from the organizations that I've worked in, the people that have given me an opportunity to step into leadership, has allowed me to explore other facets of my life that I never knew I was capable of. An interesting thing about leadership in any environment is that as a leader, you need to be able to learn. And how do you learn? You learn by listening, by understanding other people's point of view. That enhances your ability to actually be who you are as a leader. And you're able to adapt to make sure that the people that you are leading always feel included. They are with you on the journey. It's not your journey alone. And I've led a lot of initiatives in my organization because I've been empowered by Toastmasters to articulate certain values, certain aspirations within my team, irrespective of in what situation I find myself in. I think the most important thing that a leader can do in a nonprofit organization is to be with your team. I think sometimes what happens is as soon as we think we are a leader, we think we're management, we think we're in charge. And that's not what a nonprofit organization is about. A nonprofit organization is there to go with people and spread a specific word, a specific sharing with the community that they live in. Toastmasters wants to grow people in terms of their individual communication skills and their individual leadership skills. Everybody is not exactly the same. You need to support each and every individual within that organization. And people must feel part of the organization. They must feel that they have added value by being present in that space. And they need to be heard. They need to be allowed to give advice, give suggestions, give innovation. But as a leader, it's your responsibility to explore the possibility that this idea may be the idea that will drive this organization to the next level. Believe that although it's Women's Month this month, but I believe everybody has got a contribution to make to a nonprofit organization. I think if we start isolating women, we kind of stereotype them as the nurturers only, as the people that need to hold the fort. But women are dynamic in nature, and women are groundbreakers. They are people that bring innovation. But we don't want to just focus on women. We should say that women and men together can collaborate with both these strengths, because women have got specific strengths and men have got their own strengths. Because sometimes what happens is that as women, we feel that we are competing in a space with men to be seen. And I don't believe that. I believe we can work together, collaborate, and utilize both our strengths. So I believe there's a place for women in nonprofit organizations because they've got lots of strengths. They've got the heart. And I think maybe to some extent men maybe have the logic, and combining the heart and the logic, I think there's a dynamic way that NGOs can actually go and reach people and impact people in terms of that combination. I've experienced not so good leadership where in the organization that I worked in early on, my understanding of what a leader should be was not up to the level that it is currently. And I worked with a very autocratic leader, and I'm talking about the early 1990s, and I was very intimidated. I think the good things about leadership that I've experienced is the willingness to allow me to be innovative. A leader that can not have ego about their position, and a leader that can allow a subordinate, a colleague, to give an idea, drive the idea, and actually implement the idea with their support. For me, that's a leader that is growing people for the future. And I think I've been so privileged in my entire work career to have people actually building me support. That's what I think. I think, at times I feel that we females, sometimes we can be very temperamental. I've experienced immense support from the people that I've met, women that I've met, that are they very excited for your success. They actually spur you on. They want you to be successful. And I think if we want strong, and we have many strong African women that is excelling in various spheres of economy, business. And if we support women in business, in various spheres, I think women will see that, oh, it's not just about certain people being successful, but I can also be successful. I feel that if you want to have an Africa where women excel, it's important that we, not just women, but men also support women and inspire them to be better and stronger so that they can lead. After all, women are the mothers of children that they're raising, and the impact, they are the source of the impact that changes the world. I believe there are a lot of leaders in Toastmasters. I think the leaders are on different levels in their development or in the path that they are on. I think that as Toastmasters, we ascribe to succession planning that requires mentorship and coaching. Is there a lack of women in Toastmasters as leaders? I don't really think so. I think the women leaders are on different levels, and I think it's growing. I think that women are stepping up and taking their place in the organization, and that makes me extremely proud of being in Toastmasters and being here involved at this time in this era. I believe that we should have more mentoring and more coaching for young ladies to show them that they have the ability to become leaders in nonprofit organizations. And the challenge that I see in terms of us leaders is that we sometimes neglect it in a way that we hog the space. We kind of think that this is our space and nobody can come into it. And what I love about Toastmasters specifically, and I can only relate to what's happening in Toastmasters, is that you've got opportunities for mentorship and coaching. And I found the ladies in Toastmasters actually promote and engage young ladies to say, take up this role. They kind of push you into specific areas where under normal circumstances you wouldn't step up to the plate. And so that kind of drives you. So mentorship and coaching and building future leaders, whether male or female, for me is important. That should be in place when you work in a nonprofit organization. That's a phenomenal question. For me, an amazing leader is somebody that knows themselves. I can't emphasize that more. How can you lead somebody if you don't understand who you are? And to know who you are and consistently be aware of who you are, you need to do self-evaluation. And you have to reflect on your behavior, how you interact with people, and to what level of growth you are experiencing in your life. I would rather be a respected leader than an amazing leader, because the respected leader will go on to impact people's lives in such a way that the people that you impact goes on and impacts other people's lives. So when you get to that point, when you have that fuzzy feeling in your heart by looking back and seeing how far you've come and the people you've impacted, don't stop there. Go and look forward and continue on the path, because that's what we need in this world. We need leaders that can be consistent and respectful and authentic in growing and impacting people.